Welcome to the General Assembly, and we will have this assembly just to resume what we did in the different VUGI meetings that were very fruitful, and so some general information for everybody. I'm pretty sure that all of you signed the list of attendance, and there is the one of yesterday just for the people that attended yesterday, the one of today just for the people that attended today, and both for the people that attended both. Basically, your reimbursement is linked to signature on this list. So if there is no signature, there is no reimbursement for that day. And you saw that they changed the rule for reimbursement. So if until last year it was possible to arrive in the place of the meeting 1, 2, 3 days earlier and be back on 1, 2, 3 days later, now it's still possible. But it is not reimbursed all the flight. So if you, from the end of the meeting, from the day of the end of the meeting, you reach home after 24 hours, so not the day after, but later, or you reach the place of the meeting 1 day earlier than the start of the meeting, so there are more than 24 hours, the flight is not reimbursed at 100%, but at 70%. Those are the new annotated rules for cost, so take in mind. And it is planned the daily allowance for everybody, for all the people that joined the cost and was reimbursed by cost. And a special thanks to the people that joined the meeting with own funding. So this was an added value to the meeting. And this daily allowance it is to cover the cost of the hotel and the local transportation, means the transportation for more than 100 kilometers. So if you came from Cordoba, or if you came from Malaga, or from Sevilla, or from Madrid, it's okay. It is everything reimbursed. If you took the bus ticket, for example, here it's not reimbursed. As well, this daily allowance covers the meals. So what Fernando asked you for the organization is covered by cost. So there are 20 euros per day and per meal that are covered by cost, and that are, let's say, mandatory for everybody. So Fernando asked you to pay the part of the meal here and the part of social dinner. It was a very good social dinner, very nice place, so thanks Fernando for the very good arrangement. And it was a good opportunity to talk, to share ideas, and to make connections. So this is the main outcome of the cost, and I saw that they were very fruitful interaction, and a list of ideas came from all of you. And the cost will take benefit for this, and we will go forward. And we are already started to think to the next activity of the next year. And in the meantime, all the working group are starting with activities. Some are in a good point, already are taking some fruit. So feel yourself involved. Of course, it is a kind of a volunteer involving. So make it compatible with your time. Try to avoid to take too many duties, and at the end you are not able to cover. For example, there are, let's say later, people that are in the management committee, but showed up less than half of the times. It is reasonable that somebody is busy in some periods, but if somebody has no time or other priority, is free to take other duties, because it is a responsibility as well. If you want to join, I don't know, a publication, a paper, a review, or whatever, do it in a responsible way. As well as Chiara Mangarelli, I don't want to repeat what she told, but this daily allowance cover the hotel and the meals. So it's up to you to claim the highest amount or what you spent. So, because you can tell, but yeah, but if I save, what this means? It means that another person can take the chance to join a meeting, to join a training school, to take part of those short-term scientific missions. So it's public grants, and we have to use them in the best way. So we had a very good participation. We had 140 people registered, and we had a good bunch of people that joined through Zoom, and also on Facebook it was viewed a list of time and people followed, and it was a very good discussion. So to the presentation, there were good questions, and we knew each other, and we knew what we are doing and which are the skills that we can use for the future. The PDF of the presentation will be uploaded on the COST website, so please double check if you want, and you can send to costfoodwastop@gmail.com, and Marwa will upload on the website. And as well for the posters, because even the posters are useful resources. And you may also tell that, yeah, but why I have to place my poster? But you are here thanks to an effort of the community, so all of us are to, let's say, reimburse the community with a part of our knowledge. So we had very good interaction with Prima, and that is worth, and thanks also Prima for advertising this meeting and being available for future interaction. Of course, taking in mind that Prima is linked with a list of projects, but is also the option that Prima provides availability to cooperate in dissemination of some activities. I think it is very important. As well, we will take it open, the questionnaire on food loss, and for 1 month or so. But if somebody, you know that there are countries that contributed more, and country that maybe can do more. Even yourself could have already filled or not. It's not something that is mandatory, but if you feel that you can provide a contribution, I think that this is important. And so, in some countries, somebody translated in own language. Then, in case, if the representative of those countries, somebody can raise the hand if somebody translated in own language the questionnaire? It is free, so if all the activities of the cost are volunteer, so if somebody wants to translate in national language, Fernando did. Do you have an idea of an estimation? How many answers do you have, or of the questionnaire translated in Spanish?
We have actually we have less than 100. We are reaching to 100 people answering the questionnaire. But we are also working in another task related to the companies, which is already who have with my colleague Luis. We have also a list of companies to be contacted. So it's not easy task, of course, but I think that even having one company providing data for the whole chain of whole chain can be valuable for us, because at the end, what we are doing here is to integrate data from different countries, different companies, products, and so on. So it's going to be valuable for us. So actually, what Gianfranco said, we translated this into Spanish and we prepared a form. It was actually we also put it in the news. We have some find impact in the news at regional and national levels. We use also our national agency for food safety because they are also quite involved in food waste. So, but still we need to be, you know, we need to insist to recall that we have this phone and so on. That it requires some time. So it means when Gianfranco said we have to do this in a volunteer way, we have to dedicate some time to get something out of our effort. So this is this is my point here.
Okay, thank you. So I think that if the country or you have, let's say, some kind of local data, national data that can be provided to the whole survey, the people that is more involved in this can be enrolled as a kind of co-author, let's say, of whatever, because we have to find a way to make public those data. So those are more or less last data. I think they are still growing. So that's it, just for your information. And what else? Yeah, there is the important contribution to this action. Also the European project consortia that shared the idea, and for some of them there are activities that are related to the one of Prima or previous cost actions. So there are several of you that were involved in earlier cost action and took the expertise of this cost action and also shared with everybody this expertise, so it's very important. As well, we were involved as Prima in webinars. We presented the Prima to webinars of FIO or in food tech that was in Novi Sad and that Tamara and colleagues organized. Or we are part of the small order initiative in which also Prima is involved, and it will be, I guess, one meeting in Cairo, if I remember well, in April, and so on. So this is just a summary of what did till now. In the first year, we spent all the grants. Just few pennies remained out. So thanks to you all, we will have some further call even this year. What I already told in the first day, please take those calls in a responsible way. So if there is a call for short-term scientific mission, be sure that you are motivated to do it. Or if there is a call to join one meeting, try to do your best. It may happen that something changed, but some of the people in the audience booked flight the day before to leave. And the day before of the meeting, or the night before that meeting. So if you can avoid to do something, because if you can book it earlier, you can have lower fares and so on. And this is benefit for all the action. So try to, this cost is kind of family. You have to manage as you are part of the family. You have to feel yourself part of this family because it's a mutual beneficial. So what we are doing for this year, we have this meeting here in Cordoba that was a very good success, and I'm personally very happy, but I saw that you interacted a lot. And we will have the training school in Thessaloniki and the training school of VUGI 1 and VUGI 2 that will cover a list of aspects, and there is a tentative program with the speakers that were already invited and with the participants that were not yet invited. You can tell why? Because several people, there were some questions, they answered it in a way, but later they told, oh yeah, but I'm not sure about. So if each of you is consistent, and for example, I see several people that were here or were in the previous meeting or want to join next meeting with a kind of, let's say, personal contribution with own funding and so on. And thanks to you for joining. This is a big pleasure, and it is an added value because you take contents and you take expertise. So that's it. Now we can move to the marking the point of the different working groups. Let's start with working group 1. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Jessica. Yeah. There were several questions we were just discussing at lunchtime about the review papers. So, basically, cost provides an amount of grants and tells you can manage how you want. I heard that there are cost actions in which they didn't plan, they didn't fund any movement to meeting, but they use it just for doing reviews. We can discuss together. We can do the same, but we will not be here to share knowledge, to discuss, to interact, and so on. So it is a choice. You know that an open access cost is a public project, so all the data need to be shared publicly. Then, a publication that can be shared publicly can cost up to 4,000 euro, more or less. It depends on the journal. So, if there are 4 people that tells, okay, I will not join your cost in the next meeting, but it will be worth to have an open access publication, just tell us, raise the hands. So there are people that wants to replace is joining a meeting as this with 1/4 on open access publication? No? So basically, we are not in the management committee that is the one that will decide, but more or less people of management committee are here. So basically, we decided to use the option to join the meeting, training school, and short-term certificate mission. Because this is the added value of cost. So cost does not provide grants for publication, but we may decide something different. I assumed that any of you would replace his position or the chance to join the next meeting. In the previous meeting, the amount of the grants is related to the number of participants, the number of UGI members. So in the meeting of Ancona, we funded 50 people. Here, we funded 100 people. It's likely that in the next meeting will be more than 100. We hope so. So even chance to fund the movement of young people. Another relatively minor point. If we have 100 people that wants to speak, and we have 1 day and a half, we cannot allocate all the oral presentation. So please do not tell us, if you don't place me as oral, I will not join the meeting. Because there is no room for everybody. And we try to incentivize the young scientists. Because it is easier for it is, I think, more important for the young scientists to be in front of a public and to have this kind of, can be part of the curriculum. Maybe the people that are more experienced can have a harder chance, and this is how we are thinking all together in the core group, and we are presenting. But if you have different opinion, feel free to tell us, and we will take note, and we will do next time. That's it. So, when in a working group there is an idea to write a review that is worth, and there are several putative reviews that are progressing. But when somebody is taking the responsibility, he needs to be sure that there are some cost of publication that can be higher or lower, but if it should be open access, somebody has to pay. The people that write or the people that read. If it should be open access, usually are the people that write. So if you are not able to, if you are not sure to have the enough grant to support the publication or to find a way, because maybe some people can have some waiving of fee, are more than welcome. But be sure that you have to be in that position. So when there is a team and there is a table who wants to take leadership, do no, but later, no, but I don't have money. So let's find a deal altogether. But we have to use at best the resources that we have. That looks a lot, but actually they are not so much because we are so many. So they are not enough for everybody. Sure. There is a microphone?
For the European Commission projects, the requirement is to have open access data, open access papers, and so on. Is it the same for cost action or no? If it is the same for cost action, then the question is who covers the costs?
The authors.
Who?
The authors.
Yeah, but from what funds?
Who cover the cost program itself?
Because if it's a requirement from the European Commission and the cost management or whom, then probably it should be somehow covered. But yeah, I'll just skip the next meeting.
No, it's clear the question. So who is covering the cost of publication? It should be open access. What is written is that the results need to be publicly available. Cost does not provide the research, money for research, and also for publication, although we cannot replace our, let's say, grants, because there is an amount of grants we have to share. If we potentially, we may give a part of that grant for publication, that is dissemination, can be eligible. But we cannot invite some people, and part of these some people can be me or you or somebody else here in the audience. So it's a kind of balance. Then, if in a meeting, in a network, there is somebody that tells, okay, I want to take the leadership of this paper, and usually there one person that takes this kind of leadership can take in mind that this leadership may mean that somebody has to cover the publication fee. I don't know if it is clear.
Can I just say that the management science journal are all free, doesn't charge a fee. So if someone are interested in paying in science-oriented, related a little bit of engineering and management, if you're not sure which journal to go to, please come to me. All the journals that I relate to and being reviewer for and published are all free. And I'm not talking about low index, I'm talking about impact factor up to 14, 15. So I'm more than happy to have an individual chat if one.
Which journal?
Huh?
Which journals? Which journal?
Journal?
Which the name of journal?
Journals.
Journals, okay.
If you look at some of my publication, and typically for UK, there is a list of that. So all the journals that I've been dealing with for the past 20 years are all free.
But
including science, so including published for bioscience as well.
yeah, but so who pays for this publication?
You don't need to pay, just submit it to them and they review, and if they accept it, then they accept, open, and you tick the box you want to open it. You don't need to pay a fee for that.
But the university, I think, because there are some universities that are some kind of deals with...
Basically, somebody who works, for example, in Sweden, Germany, they have deals with the Springer. Yeah.
Please, microphone.
It depends on the country. I mean, basically, a lot of countries have actually, and universities have actually deals with the main publishers like Elsevier, Springer, Wiley. And so actually what you have to ensure for your publication, that the corresponding author is from one of the universities you have free access to gold access, and that's it.
So it's the university that support this kind of publication, and I think that in our group there is somebody, it was you, that told I may be part of this publication, and if I'm corresponding author, the university will pay the fee. So it's a responsibility. It is so we are not, when there is a table around that, the people that are there will decide what to do. They can find the best deal. But please do not come in later to tell that I'm not comfortable with the cost rules, because such are the cost rules. Okay? Thank you. Now we have 3/4 just to mark the point of the different working group. Was okay? Was enough? Okay. George, can you highlight a little bit what it is cooking in the working group number 1?
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Let me introduce myself. I'm George Karoglanidis. I'm a professor of plant pathology in the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki in Greece, and I'm the leader in the working group 1. Within the next few 3-4 minutes, I'm going to provide you some basic information on the activities that we have already undertaken for this working group. Actually, we are a quite big working group. Currently, we have more than 350 members that are originating from 38 different European countries, as you can see in the map. While in addition to the European participants, we have several participants from non-European countries all over the world. Our main tasks are related to the prevention of food losses and waste in this working group. We try to understand and identify the food losses and food waste from the farm until the end of the chain, at our homes, at hotels, restaurants, etc. We will conduct some farmer and handler surveys across European and Mediterranean countries, and we will try to identify some opportunities for sustainable and safety-related practices. As a working group, we have 4 deliverables to prepare. You can see them in the slide. The first one is related to the analysis and synthesis of the state of the art of the main problems that cause food loss and waste. The second deliverable is to prepare a white paper related to the prevention of food losses and waste. The third deliverable is the preparation of handbook with guidelines on how to prevent the food loss and waste. A handbook that at the end will be translated in at least 10 different languages. And our fourth deliverable is to write at least one review paper on the prevention of food loss and waste. During the last year and for the next one, we have already undertaken some activities and we plan some more. One of our activities is the organization of the training school in Thessaloniki. Gianfranco earlier said a lot of words about that. It is a joint action with Working Group 2 and Slaven. as a leader. And our main aim is to transfer of knowledge on modern methods that we can use to prevent pre or post-harvest diseases on fruits and vegetables. We hope that with the organization of this training school, we will contribute in building capacity in the field, and our ambition is to contribute in the development of the next generation of plant protection specialists. We have created already, we have established already a group of well-recognized trainers on several methods that we can use to prevent losses in the field or at the post-harvest level. And we are going to invite around 40 trainees in this training school. Almost 30 of them will be funded by cost action, and 10 will be funded by their own funds. The second activity that we had undertaken recently, aiming to facilitate the preparation of the deliverables that we have to deliver, we disseminated to the members of the working group a questionnaire related to their interest in participating in the different activities that we want to organize and the different deliverables that we have to prepare. And we received around 85 answers. Meanwhile, after the closing of this question, I received also answers from more participants. And as you can see, there is a high increase among the members of the VG1 to participate in the writing of the review papers. But in addition to that, there is a quite satisfactory interest from the members of the working group 1 to participate in the remaining, in the organization, the preparation of the remaining deliverables. Interestingly, we decided to be divided in different subgroups according to our expertise in order to facilitate the preparation of review papers. We thought that since we are so many researchers participating as members in this working group, we could provide many more than one deliverable as a review paper. Our obligation is to provide just one, but since we are so many, we thought that we could prepare more than one, and we have already started working on that direction, and we were split in different subgroups according to our expertise. We organized an online meeting 2 weeks ago in order to discuss on how we will proceed with the preparation of the deliverables. And during that meeting, we defined the leaders among the VG1 members that will be responsible for the preparation of a draft of table of contents for each deliverable or for each review paper. And those that received this responsibility within the next few weeks, some groups have already started their work. We will finalize this draft, and this draft will be communicated to all the VG1 members in order to have their inputs and the expression of their interest again to participate in specific tasks for each deliverable or for each review paper. That's all from me.
Thank you, George. And the room is open for eventual questions. Everybody is welcome. So there is usually a call to action to join this kind of, can be deliverables. But it is done once, and there is a deadline. So if somebody joined the cost action later and there are activities that still didn't start, can join. But if the activity are already progressing, in some cases there is already the paper published, so that activity is closed. It's not possible to join it. And everybody that wants to cooperate is welcome, but with a real contribution, not just telling that I want to be in, but I don't have time.
Gianfranco, all these drafts of either of the deliverables or the review papers will be sent to all the VG1 members, even the newer ones that were not included in the mailing list that I had 1 month ago. So everybody that is a member of the working group will receive this message, and he will have the chance to decide if he wants to participate or no.
Any question? Okay, thank you, George. Slaven?
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Slaven Zijalic, and I'm leading the working group 2, which is agrofood loss and waste management. Our working group started to work exactly, well, something more than 1 year ago, when we had the first meeting in Ancona. We are smaller than other groups. I don't know, I will see the other numbers, but still we are more than 300 persons, and quite well distributed all over the world. More or less all the countries of Europe, including Turkey, are in. Especially we have a lot of members from Turkey, but we also have people from, I don't know, Albania, Azerbaijan, New Zealand, Pakistan, South Africa, Maghreb countries, etc., etc. Our tasks are mainly those related to the management. So we should identify management strategies, create roundtables, develop collectively new scenarios, and determine appropriate new sustainable strategies, and build consensus on potential new solutions. We should establish links between conventional and organic farming to inform farmers on the alternatives of or biological control can be used and applied. Develop food loss and waste think tank, create a platform for knowledge brokerage innovation. And the second task is evaluation of the potential to use new innovative strategies to control post-harvest decay and loss. Here are some of our activities, and here are the deliverables. We have 3 of them. The last one is guidelines for sustainable food system that will come after 4 years. The first one is review paper on agrofood loss and waste management, and this is bolded because this one more or less is achieved in our group already. I'll explain it later. And the protocol of best practices to reduce food loss and waste. We had quite a nice number of meetings. This is our second in-person meeting, but we had 2 online meetings of the whole working group, and then we had something like 5 meetings, initial meetings of the subgroups, and I'll explain the subgroups now, because in Ancona, discussing on how to achieve our goals, how to achieve our deliverables, and or what's set up in front of us, we decided to divide us in 4 subgroups. That was fruits, vegetables, cereals, and animal production. At this point, this was related to the review paper because we decided on the same meeting that the first thing that we are going to work on is a review paper, being this our first deliverable in time. Till now, the results are that the subgroup animal production and cereals has started to work. It was smaller groups, so we decided to pilot with those 2 groups to have some experience, and then to pass to the bigger ones like fruits and vegetables. The subgroup animal production was really very active, and they produced till now 3 review papers on management on food loss and waste in animal production chains, etc., etc., one of which has been accepted already for publications. Cereal Group has prepared the review paper, and now it is under, let's say, improvements according to the suggestions of reviewers, and will be resubmitted quite soon for new publications. Other subgroups, the fruit subgroups, just started to work, and we have elected the new coordinator of this subgroup, and the last one will start the next week. And as George has already said, we are involved in the preparation of the training school in Thessaloniki. So these are our activities till now. What we have planned for the future, it's just a short update for our today's meeting. We decided to extend this division and this work in 4 subgroups, also for the further work, with a major cooperation maybe with subgroups, especially fruits and vegetables that have more common points than the one of cereals, or especially the one of animal production. And that, of course, what was the first idea, we will use our review papers as a basis for development of other deliverables. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Slaven. And your group was the first to move on, and it already took some fruit. So congratulations to you and to all the people that are working on. Any question to Slaven? Okay.
I can maybe to the question that was on financing, because we have solved those in 2 different ways. One was solved by the group from animal production. They published in a high impact journal, but not open access, but with the possibility of making reprints publicly available, so it will be publicly available. At the other review, one of the co-authors had the possibility to use some funds for publication, and this co-author will finance the publication. Then we have the third case, in which there is one university that has some conditions to do. And then we have the fourth case also of the university, which has agreement with different publishing houses, and when the researchers from that institutions are involved, we'll have the free publication. So there are a lot of ways to find.
Thank you, Slaven. We will pass very fast through G3. We just had, I just introduced you earlier that this questionnaire will be open, and Luca Fasconi did a very good job and presented it publicly. So we will not get longer on this, and it will be another activity that will involve the management committee, and we will talk in the management committee. But we had a lot of meetings, so we will have further time to discuss. Now, the most numerous working group, Jessica, working group number 4.
So here I am. Okay, well, thank you everyone to still be here, even though it's the very last rush of the final moment of the conference. I will repeat myself for the members of the working group because I'm sharing the same presentation we discussed all together, so sorry for that. You will just hear for the second time. So the structure of how the working group 4 has worked, it's following the working group 1 and the working group 2 that we just heard. Particularly under the suggestion of the second working group, that was the first who proposed the strategy, how to try to address more smoother all the deliverables with the division in the subgroup. But I will reach this point. First, yes, we are the most numerous working group within this cost action. Most of the members that are part of the working group 4 are also listed in other working group, actually. So this is not the number representative only for this specific working group, but still, we are a lot, and this is beautiful. And we are basically covering all the geographical Europe and even more. There are 14 extra Europe countries also, quite well represented, specifically from Turkey, again. And moving to task and deliverables, here in the slide I have highlighted in bold the 3 deliverables that we as a working group decide to focus at the beginning of this process of working in the related tasks and activities, because our deadline are not so close. We are talking about February till October 2026 for the first 3 deliverables. So we decided to start with these 3. And in order to understand how many members in these 500 are actually willing and have time to dedicate to these deliverables, in October last year, I sent out a call of expression on interest in the same way that George was explaining before. And the idea was to define how many members were willing to work in the different 4 subgroups that we identify, and in how many deliverables every member wanted to contribute. So I asked each of the members to choose only one subgroup and to choose from 1 till all 3 the deliverables that they wanted to contribute on. And this is the outcome. So in December, we postponed the deadline a few times, and then in December we collect all the data. And you can see that the so-called total active members that you can see in the slide are, yes, 1/5 basically of all the full number. And the majority of the active members are interested in vegetable and fruit. That makes sense because fruit and vegetables are the 2 categories that are producing more waste and are more interesting for the valorization of the waste. But still, we have expertise also in the cereal and animal production subgroup. So this is giving more circular overview of all the food categories. Most of the members are willing to contribute in the deliverable number 3, that is about the review papers, but also I'm very happy that there are several members who are very structurized and giving a very nice contribution also in the first and the second deliverable. After this form, we had a general meeting in December, so sooner after the data were available. And in this meeting, we discuss the result, and we try to identify on first hand some names that could voluntarily coordinate the different subgroup. And you can see here the 4 coordinators that were proposed directly in this meeting. And the important role of coordinators for me as a leader of the working group is to have some referent people that I can get in touch and I can receive some updates. So it's more efficient to have a one-to-one communication when it's a matter of collecting some information. So with the coordinators, I have one-by-one update on all the activities happening in the working group in their specific subgroup. They are organizing and leading the internal meetings, so some internal meetings are happening within the subgroup, and every coordinator is completely free to decide when, how many, and which kind of topic to discuss in the meeting. And they are coordinating the task in between the members. So we will see, actually I can move on directly. Every subgroup decide after this general meeting, when they started to have their internal meetings, if and how to find some other key person to give some leading role specifically in the 3 deliverables, or in general as a co-coordinator, just to have at least a second person that could help out in these roles that coordinators and leader co-coordinators are having in this structure of the subgroups. The way that we are keeping update each other, and we have sharing flow of information. Every subgroup, when they are organizing a meeting, after the meeting they are preparing a minute of the meeting or sharing the outcome through email. We have a shared Google Drive where 4 folder, 1 per each subgroup, are located, and I am asking constantly to upload all the interesting and important material that are discussed or are of interest also in the future for the subgroup activity. And we are trying to have at least a monthly cross-subgroup meeting where I am meeting with the coordinator, co-coordinator, and the leaders. So we have this moment where all the subgroup can interact with each other. So moving to what has done so far in these 3 deliverables that I mentioned. Just before the meeting in Cordoba, we had a cross-subgroup meeting, and we had some update from all the coordinators. Regarding the first deliverable, the preparation of the guideline on the valorisation strategy that are available or possible to develop in more than 1 country. A work plan and timeline is generated. In some subgroup it's more clear, in some other subgroup it's a little bit less clear, but as I told, it's nice that there is interaction between subgroups, so if one subgroup is coming first to some plan, then he is sharing, and other subgroup can decide how much of this draft to take and to adapt in their subgroup. The idea is to focus on the categories that in Europe are generating most waste and byproducts, and to identify and suggest how to improve some valorization strategy in industrial level. So we are really stressing out that we want to work in something that is meaningful already in an industrial scale. And that's why we want also to check the TRL of the bioactive compounds extraction method. And how to do that? The subgroup fruit has started to work on a table of content that we were discussing in our meeting before. We will validate and accept as soon as it will be ready, and try to organize a unique document that is covering all the 4 subgroups. So when the table will be ready, there will be a request from the other subgroup out of the fruit to collect some comments and any other ideas. So we will have one unique form that we will distribute in all the working group members, and with this data we will start to organize the template for the guideline. Regarding the timing, we were talking that I think in few months we will be ready for disseminate the Microsoft form. The second deliverable is very much related to the first, because it's the preparation of a list of bioactive compounds that will be attached to the guideline. The focus is again on fruit and vegetable byproducts, but since we have also experts in the cereal and animal production, we will try to cover also these other categories. And again, the fruit subgroup has done a great job in this sense. There is a template draft in an Excel file that has been shared in our last cross subgroup meeting, and it will be shared with the other subgroup with the same idea like in the first deliverable. So we will collect all the comments and we will frame a common template. We will need to decide if to focus on bioactives or food waste category, not which priority to give, but this will be part of the discussion in the framing the Excel file. And also for this task, I think in a few months we will be ready to start with the list. And of course, together with the preparation of the template, it's ongoing a literature review. So we are collecting information in different categories. And the last deliverable, we are focusing about the review papers. So in all the 4 subgroups, it's ongoing already, some brainstorming about that. The fruit subgroup, it's the one that has already structurized the writing part. So the 4 review papers have been proposed. There are already lists of authors and co-authors. The table of contents have been generated, and there is already timeline. And I heard today that there are already people who started to write some chapters. So it's really ongoing, all the process. Regarding subgroup vegetable, the idea is to use artificial intelligence tool to generate research topic clusters, and this is something that has been raised up also from the cereal subgroup, and what we were thinking together with some experts in this sense is that would be really interesting, we think, to organize a training session where the explaining how to use this tool to generate a research topic cluster can be actually learned by different members, not just in our working group, but maybe for all the cost action. So this is something that we can discuss either later, either in another moment, but yeah, from our side, there is this idea, and there are people that are letting themselves available to do that. So I think it's very interesting and can speed up quite a lot all the process of the reviewing. And I think, yes, that's it. It's just a brief overview of what we are doing so far.
Thank you, Jessica. Thanks for all the work that you are running. There is any question to Jessica? Sarah?
Hi, Jessica. Yeah, something appeared on your slide over lunchtime. The note on the last slide about note from the fruit group, avoid MDPI. Where did that come from?
We were just discussing with one, I don't know if she's here. Yes, there she is. Yes, since the fruit subgroup is starting to screen some potential journal where to submit, this was one of the comments that they had, and they thought that it was nice to share with the other subgroup. So that's something I just add when we finish the meeting, because it's something we will discuss in our following up online meeting. But yeah, do you have any comment in this sense?
No. I mean, my university has institutional agreements with Elsevier, Wiley, etc., etc. So it's not an issue. I was just curious as to the rationale, because sometimes you come across it could be perceived as a bit of snobbery against MDPI, but I was just curious, but it's not important.
If I understood correctly, it's for a matter of costs, because it's more expensive. So I think it's because there is a different budget that the co-author of the fruit subgroup are dedicating in this. Yes. This is something that came out from fruit.
Just to be on the cost side, MDPE was considered as one of the low-budget journals and publishers. So, I mean, when it's a matter of cost, I mean, Elsevier, you pay about 3,000 to 5,000 euros per article. There you pay about 1,000. And if you're a reviewer or so, you can even gain some money. So, I mean, and I know that some journals are perceived as not as good than others, but I mean, my university, for example, the University of Lund, is still considering it as a credible publishing company. So, at my moment, I have nothing against them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really depends on the direction that you are looking for, and most likely the kind of journals that I don't know, I don't have the details in that sense. I just had a comment at the end of the meeting that I'm sharing, but
if it's just for the fruit group, that's like their personal decision.
Yeah,
but
no.
But again,
it's not meant to be limitation.
It's not. No, because as a colleague, just said. I mean, I do a lot of reviewing for NDP, so I get very often, offers of a free paper, which I've taken advantage of, because why wouldn't you? And maybe an MDPI journal is not as prestigious as another, but who cares? The important thing is that the publication is free. It's not behind a paywall. It's free for everyone at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which journal, how prestigious, that's...
Absolutely, yes. Just let's take it as a note from...
Sorry, since that I placed this information for NDPI, I'm just now checking my emails, since that I'm also the member of other cost project. Probably it is from the other project, I'm not sure, and I cannot now find the information from this cost project.
Okay.
But I know that from from this or from the other cost project, actually we had this information to avoid MDPI journal, since it cost almost 3,000 Swedish crowns.
Yeah.
So
okay, yeah, this is the source of information. Yes. Why there is this note here.
Yeah.
But,
so I'm not sure is this from this cost action or from the other. But I'm involved in both actually for writing review papers. So
yeah.
Okay,
thank you. Thank you for the clarification. Well, I think this is a minor. Let's not be stuck in this topic now. We will come back to this, I'm sure, in several other moments.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, any other question?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, as a cost action, we didn't place any kind of requirement or prescription on this, and we didn't have from cost any input in this direction. I agree with Frank, it is one of the cheapest ways to publish. And if we compare with, for example, frontiers that have a very higher cost, and they are more or less in the same balance, if they are close to the list of predatory, but they're not yet, as far as I know. So, and they work close to the market, let's say, and the market are us, as a writer or a reader. So that's it. It's maybe a too long discussion that we can have on this. Marwa, can you give just a few words on VUGI 5? Just for information, VUGI 5 has one leader and one co-leader from industry and another co-leader 'Action. So basically they still didn't start. We will let them appear pretty soon. Marwa.
Yeah, it would be short presentation, just 3 slides, because actually we didn't start the activity of this work group 5. It's cross-cutting strategies and smart system for food. 222 members in this work group. This work group aims to consider the cross-cutting nature of the food loss and waste challenge by connecting our cost action to the social economic aspect and the public health and technological context. So this work group will work to reach, and the goal is to reach the challenge number 5. Our cost action has 6 challenges, and this work group will work to reach this challenge number 5. How can smart solution play a key role at all levels of food supply chain to reduce the food loss and waste? So this work group will work to answer for this question. We have 4 deliverables in this work group. First one is assessment of regulatory framework dealing with food loss and waste. The deadline is month 36. And the second one, also the deadline is month 36, is about protocol for smart technologies for optimization of processing, transportation, and distribution of fruit and vegetables. The third one and the fourth one, they have the deadline in month 48 at the end of the project. So the third one is about the protocol for packaging using biodegradable materials. And the fourth one is a guidance document to support policy makers. Today in the meeting we have some members that were interested to join deliverables number 1 and deliverables number 4, and we have also other members that would like to join all the deliverables if it is possible. So our plan for the next month, it will be as we did in work group 1 and 2 and 4. We will have a subgroup for each deliverables, and we will split the members in the subgroups. So if someone of you also would like to join some deliverables, he or she is welcome. So thank you.
If there is any question, so it will follow a call to action for this, and who wants to join is welcome. Last but not least, Kata, WG6. About communication, we will open, let's say, an institutional cost Zoom account, and then we will use it for all the meetings, that webinars and whatever. So if any of you wants to do something, let's say in cooperation with cost, can use also the Zoom account that can be for large meetings.
Good afternoon. So my name is Kata Ludman Mihai. I'm from Hungary, and I'm the leader of the working group 6, and the co-leader is Marva. And I would like to just briefly talk about this working group. So first, this working group has 334 members from 31 European countries and some extra countries, so it's a pretty nice number. And what the main task of this working group? First, to promote the dissemination of the findings of the other working groups with several ways: to use a website, social media, or an open access research article, and to help the communication with the main stakeholders, for example, farmers or distributors, consumers. And we help to deliver the provided tools and the recommendations and try to make more visible this cost action. And of course, organize and share information about different programs like training schools, conference, STSM, workshops, and etc. Here you can see the main activities and the deliverables of these working groups. We work close cooperation with the general communication coordinators in the case of STSM or a conference. But what I would like to highlight, which is the main activities of this working group, first to develop and make educational program, which after we can disseminate, and prepare a summarize of the recommendation and the best practices. But what we did until now, we created the actions over a website and started to use the broadcast newsletter, and created action social media platforms. And please, if until you didn't follow it, try to follow it and share every news that we will share these platforms. We organized the STSMs, and the next one, the next call will be this June, and organized training schools. The first was in Cranfield, and the next one will be in Greece with George. And what is the next step? So we start to call for expression of interest by using Google Forms and screening of the active members, and start to the preparation of the deliverables. The strategy will be that we make different subgroups because we need various help from the applicants. First, somebody asked before that why we need why here they no okay so why somebody talk about the communications, because it's important how we communicate with the stakeholders, how we affect them, and we need communication specialists who can help us and help our work. And of course, it would be really nice if you have any contacts with different stakeholders, share with us and help the action work. And we need help from applicants who can translate and make an open access website with the protocols or produce a handbook with several languages. So after that, we will organize a webinar and select the subgroup coordinators and talk about how we can achieve these goals. And we would like to make a seminar on bibliometric indexes with a specialist who maybe can help our work. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Kata. There is any question to Kata? Okay, wow, that's it. Okay. We are close to the end, and for everybody except then for the management committee members, that we have 1 more hour of talks, and we can meet at 10 minutes to 4 here in the middle and go to the room where we will have this meeting. So please remain the management committee members, and I want to thank the service that they did an excellent work. So they very in a perfect way they delivered all the talks, and so all the video and so on, and I'm sure that will support also the dissemination. Behind the scene there is also Lucrezia and Carmela that cooperated in the management of Zoom link and allowing the people to get in and be silent and so on. So thanks to you that they are in Ancona. All of you, because Pervi. Yeah. As I told you earlier, when we have to plan the budget, we have to see how we have to split the grants. So there are several options, very long list of options, but you have to select someone. So we select the meetings, we select the training school, and we select the dissemination is mandatory, and the short-term strategic mission. I know that there are several people that are in several cost actions, and then there are the ITC grants to join the meetings. So we have once in a while some people that applies for the ITC grants, but there is no these grants. So please just look if there is these grants, and later usually Young Science applies for this. So there is no ITC grants to join the meeting, because we should allocate some money, but what we can do, some monthly call, and how we can assist, it will be a little bit difficult, so we try to privilege the other option. Thank you, Pervin, for refreshing me. So, thanks to all of you that participated with contents, with posters, with talks, with questions, and so on. But a big thank to Fernando that organized this very good meeting. Thanks for everything.
Okay, so just the last words just before leaving. So thank you for making the effort to be here. I know that you all have a very busy agenda, so it's something, some of you are coming from very long distance places, so you have to take a lot of flights to come here. And I hope that you enjoy these 2 days, just with the scientific part, but also the social part. And also, I had like a kind of wish list. And the first was to have a place. We had a place. The second was to gather you here. I gathered you here. Then to make it a networking. So I guess that you did networking, and just to try to grow. So I think we already grew a little bit. So and just so strengthen our bonds, our links between us. So it means that most of the things I had in my wish list are already completed. So I feel happy. I hope that you also feel happy. I know they also have a mistake list. I will try to improve them for the next one, but thank you very much for being here. So thank you also for the chair to place the trust in me and also the COS action. Thank you.